India Today's political news break sets the primetime agenda. The Ethics Panel of Parliament has adopted its report 6-4 in favour of expelling Mahua Moitra, the Trinamool MP caught in the cash for query scandal amidst a slew of allegations against her for taking favours in exchange for asking certain questions in Parliament. Let's go straight across now to India Today's Piyush Mishra, who has with him members of the Ethics Committee. Piyush, over to you.
Well, certainly, Shiv, a big political breaking which right now we are breaking is that the Parliament Ethics Committee has now adopted its report, and joining me right now is BJP MP Rajdeep Roy. Remember that he is also part of that important Ethics Committee who drafted this entire report, and today that report has been adopted. So thank you for speaking to India Today. My first question to you, what transpired in today's meeting?
Look, the meeting was very specific with the only agenda of whether we are to adopt the report which has been prepared. The report was circulated yesterday at 6 p.m. Report has gone to all the members. All the members had enough time and all, almost 15-20 hours of time to go through the report and all. And then after studying the report, the only question that the chairman asked was that, are you all agreed to adopt this report? So we had said, we had put in our comments. The opposition demanded sort of voting by raise of hands, and in that we did a raise of hands and all, and ultimately their resolution failed. So this thing was adopted, the report was adopted. So from here on, now we submit the report to the Speaker, Honorable Speaker of Lok Sabha, and then take it on from there.
So is the expulsion of Mahua Moitra is evident?
Yeah, it's almost certain.
It's certain, sir. What was the crux of this entire adoption and the recommendations those have been made?
Now, look, the Ethics Committee has taken a strong exception to what has transpired to us, and with all evidences coming from Ministry of Telecommunication, Ministry of Home Affairs, Ministry of External Affairs, and we have had serious allegations which are corroborated by facts like login of members' account from offshore 47 times, and the details therein are all there. So obviously this is a serious national security issue, and we have taken strong cognizance of it, and we have taken action. We have recommended action to the Speaker.
Certainly the ethics panel has received a lot of evidences. You also took into consideration the letter which was written by Nishikant Dubey and also the complaint of Jayanath Dehadrai and also the affidavit which was submitted by Hiranandani. What was the biggest evidence which the ethics panel gone through and that was considered to make its recommendation? Look,
the biggest this thing was, of course, the allegation which was there, but it has been corroborated by findings, by statement from the Ministry of Information and Technology. They have exactly given how many times this login ID was logged in. Basically, this ID was logged in from offshore. So that was actually the crux.
Sir, also the opposition MPs who were present in that meeting, they are saying that their views were not considered. Is it so?
No, they have got enough time in the last 2 days to air their opinion, and their only intention was to make a political issue out of it. Mr. Danish Ali, Mr. Girdhari Yadav, they shouted like anything on the second day of the meeting, and today also they started shouting and asking for, disruption of the process and all. Obviously, we will not give in to their demand and all. And it is only because that they are trying to make a political issue out of an ethical issue in the Parliament.
Can we expect actions to be taken against the opposition MPs like Danish Ali you just mentioned?
We have, because of his unruly behavior, because of his unparliamentary behavior in the Ethics Committee, because of the language he used against our chairman, we have also made a strong recommendation. We have admonished him, and this report has also gone to the Speaker.
Last question, sir. Now we are seeing as to how TMC and Congress Party, they have now come out and they are supporting Mahua Moitra. In fact, they are now saying that it is nothing but a political vendetta at the part of government. What do you have to say on that?
Look, we have seen people rising above political consideration. We have seen Mrs. Preneet Kaur supporting the resolution. So its issue of Congress and Trinamool is not there. It is not the question of who is there with which party, but it is the question of ethics, and we strongly support the views taken by Ms. Preneet Kaur.
Thank you so much for speaking to us. So, Shivarur, a big breaking development which we are picking right now from National Capital is that the Ethics Panel Committee has adopted its draft and that will now be sent to the Lok Sabha Speaker. The important point which we can highlight here is that the expulsion of Moitra is now almost evident.
Okay, our reporters are fastest on the ground. Piyush first with Rajdeep Roy. Himanshu Mishra is now going to be first with Vinod Sonkar, the chairman of the ethics panel. Himanshu, over to you. First conversation with the ethics panel chief right after that resolution has been adopted.
हमारे साथ बातचीत करने के लिए एथिक्स कमेटी के चेयरमैन विनोद सोनकर। विनोद जी, आज विपक्षी दलों का ये आरोप है, जो सदस्य थे उनका ये कहना है कि आपने मीटिंग बुलाई, 2 मिनट में रिपोर्ट को अडॉप्ट किया, उनकी बात को नहीं सुना, वो कुछ कहना चाहते थे और जल्दबाजी में आपने रिपोर्ट को जो है वो अडॉप्ट कर दिया।
देखिए, दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है, आज का एजेंडा केवल और केवल मात्र इतना था कि जो एथिक्स कमेटी के द्वारा विस्तृत रिपोर्ट तैयार की गई है उसको एडॉप्शन का था। उस पर एडॉप्शन में अगर किसी को आपत्ति तो अपना डिसीजन नोट दे सकता है। बाकी सदस्यों ने, कुछ लोगों ने एडॉप्शन अपना डिसीजन नोट दिया भी है और बाद में कमेटी ने इस पूरे रिपोर्ट को स्वीकार करते हुए बहुमत से माननीय लोकसभा स्पीकर को अपनी संस्तुति के साथ प्रेषित कर दिया।
सर, एक सवाल और है कि उन्होंने कहा कि हीरा नंदानी, क्योंकि इस केस में पूरे मुख्य जो है आरोपी भी हैं और गवाह भी हैं, उनको भी बुलाया जाना चाहिए था, जो नहीं बुलाया गया। विपक्ष की ये मांग है कि उनके बिना ये पूरा मामला जो है रिपोर्ट बनाकर जो है वो पेश किया।
मैं इस पर केवल इतना कह सकता हूं कि जब पूरी विस्तृत रिपोर्ट पार्लियामेंट में लेकर दी जाएगी, उसमें आप पढ़ेंगे तो आपको लगेगा कि एथिक्स कमेटी ने पूरी जिम्मेदारी के साथ पूरी जांच परख के बाद अपनी रिपोर्ट संस्तुति के साथ प्रेषित की।
महुआ मोइत्रा और दानिश अली के खिलाफ इस रिपोर्ट में कार्रवाई की मांग की गई है। ये भी कहा जा रहा है कि महुआ मोइत्रा के खिलाफ जो है सस्पेंशन का आपने जो है स्वीकृति दी।
देखिए, मैं फिर कहूँगा कि एथिक्स कमेटी ने विस्तृत जांच किया है। जांच करने के बाद जो फैक्ट और फिगर मिले हैं उसको लेके पूरी रिपोर्ट, विस्तृत रिपोर्ट अपनी संस्तुति के साथ माननीय लोकसभा स्पीकर को प्रेषित किया है। आगे की कार्रवाई लोकसभा स्पीकर को करेंगे।
एक अंतिम सवाल है आपसे, क्योंकि ये भी कहा गया कि रिपोर्ट जो है वो मीडिया में पहले लीक हो गई, सदस्य को बाद में भेजी।
देखिए, ये केवल पहले दिन से ही इस तरह का अनर्गल आरोप लगा के पूरी जांच को बाधित करना है। अगर कुछ लोगों ने रिपोर्ट लिखी तो वो जाने, लेकिन मेरे सेक्रेटरिएट और हमारे सामाजिक सदस्यों के द्वारा इस तरह का कोई भी काम नहीं किया गया है। ये केवल और केवल एथिक्स कमेटी को बदनाम करने का, ये वही लोग हैं जो कल तक एथिक्स कमेटी के सदस्यों पर, एथिक्स कमेटी के चेयरमैन पर जिस तरह का आरोप लगाए वो विवाद कर।
Okay, India Today's Paulomi is with us live. She fronts our political team that's been breaking all of the developments leading up to the ethics panel adopting its report that recommends the expulsion of Trinamool Krishnanagar MP Mahua Moitra. Paulomi, 2 main questions that I want to ask. First, now with this report being adopted, we've heard Vinod Sonkar talking about, roughly the procedure. What happens next? Just break it down very simply for us. Now the report goes to Parliament. There will be a vote. The Speaker decides. Just break that down for us as to, how long will it be or if it will be at all until Mahua Moitra gets expelled or suspended. How does it work?
Well, it could be as early as the first day of the winter session of Parliament. The winter session of Parliament already, because, we're hearing from our sources within government, is likely to start in the first week of December itself. Because remember, results for the 5 state assembly elections come out on the 3rd of December. So we're looking at a date like the 9th of December. So as early as that is when, in fact, this report will be tabled in Parliament. Remember, this report now will be sent to Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla. It will be tabled in Parliament. After that, the government will move for a motion to adopt the recommendations made in the report, and on the basis of voting which will take place at that point of time, it will possibly just be a voice vote, and by the kind of majority that the BJP and the NDA enjoy in the Lok Sabha, Mahua Moitra's fate will be sealed. Shiv.
Okay, stay with me, Paulomi. Aparajita Sarangi was one of the 5 BJP MPs on the ethics panel who obviously voted in favor of that report recommending expulsion. Here's what she told us just a moment ago. Here's that conversation.
I can only say that this is anything but politics, anything but political vendetta. there was breach of privilege, there was contempt of House, and there was violation of rules of procedure and conduct of business of Lok Sabha, and that is why this happened. I'm very sad because we had to recommend the expulsion of a colleague from the Lok Sabha. This has happened, but it had to happen. Because, we had all the statements, and all these statements were properly analyzed, and it's a very detailed reporting that has been done, and there was voting too, and as you know, there was 6-4, 6 went in favor and 4 against, and we have sent the report to Honorable Speaker, so the next course of action will be decided by the Honorable Speaker.
Actually, it is very unfortunate. The Speaker, the Chairman, without discussion, actually he promised us, after the witness crossing examination, we are ready to discuss. But without discussion, the Chairman presented a resolution and passed it without our discussion. That is the main point. And moreover, we want to examine the darshan here and there. But the Chairman is not allowed us.
Now remember, this report by the ethics panel was adopted 6-4. But one of the 6 who voted in favor of the report recommending the expulsion of Mahua Moitra was this lady, Preneet Kaur, who happens to be a Congress MP. The other 5 are BJP MPs. The only opposition MP on the ethics panel who voted in favor of expelling Mahua Moitra from Parliament is Preneet Kaur. That's the biggest takeaway from what has just happened today. 6 ethics panel members voted in favor of Mahua's expulsion, 4 against. Curiously, among those who voted in favor of the expulsion was Preneet Kaur. Now, the Congress and Trinamool both are part of the India alliance. So Preneet Kaur voting for Mahua's expulsion has raised a lot of eyebrows. India Today has the complete list of the ethics panel members. Sumedhanand Saraswati is from the BJP, voted for. Hemant Godse, Shiv Sena, for Preneet Kaur of the Congress, for Aparajita Sarangi, BJP, for Rajdeep Roy of the BJP, for Vinod Sonkar, is the ethics panel chief, also from the BJP, all voted in favor of Mahua Moitra's expulsion. Now, Danish Ali of the BSP, V. Vaidyalingam of the Congress, P.R. Natarajan of the CPM, and Giridhari Yadav of the JDU voted against, meaning in favor of Mahua Moitra and against her expulsion. Okay, we've got some breaking news coming in on that for just a moment. I'll get you more on that in just a moment, but BJP MP Nishikant Dubey, who is seen to be an arch rival in Parliament of Mahua Moitra, has just tweeted on the ethics panel's decision. He has congratulated and applauded Congress MP Preneet Kaur. Preneet Kaur, remember, despite being part of the Congress party and part of the India alliance, has voted in favor of Mahua's expulsion. Nishikant Dubey of the BJP says Preneet Kaur didn't compromise on national security. India is grateful to the braves of Punjab. So many wheels within wheels are moving here. Let me bring in Paulami to make sense of this. Paulami, Preneet Kaur isn't just an ordinary Congress MP. She is the wife of Amarinder Singh, who we all know famously, quit the Congress, before the Punjab elections. He recently joined the BJP as well. So it's not an easy relationship. She's not just your stock Congress MP. There are some discomforts there. We don't know what her relationship is with the Congress leadership at large. Can you put this into context for us? Is this a major standout takeaway from what has happened? Or is this just one of those things that happens because, someone is about to jump ship, etc.?
Well, Shiv, the fact that Nishikant Dubey, who's the complainant in this case, chose to only post about this one particular moment as far as the proceedings of the Ethics Committee are concerned, clearly goes to show how the BJP is gleefully watching what just happened over here. She is, of course, like you said, wife of Captain Amarinder Singh, who's jumped ship to the Bharatiya Janata Party. She, of course, is a member of Parliament, continues to be a member of Parliament since 2019. As far as the Congress party is concerned, it was expected that she wouldn't in fact vote against the adoption of this draft report. There were some murmurs yesterday that maybe she'll skip the meeting in itself, but the fact that Preneet Kaur came in today and voted with BJP and allies sent out a very strong statement. Now it remains to be seen what sort of action, in fact, the Congress party will take, because all of the MPs who opposed, in fact, the adoption of this report were to file dissent notes, which they would have filed by now. We'd spoken to all of them. The only confirmation of any sort of dissent note being submitted was not forthcoming from Preneet Kaur itself. So we had every indication yesterday itself that Preneet Kaur is either likely to skip the meeting to avoid any possible, choice that she'd have to make. But the fact that she came in and she voted with the BJP, you see her in pictures standing behind Vinod Sonkar as he's speaking with the media, and the other MPs, Sumedanand Saraswati, Hemant Godse, Aparajita Sarangi, as they voted with, Vinod Sonkar in adoption of that bill, clearly goes to show that Preneet Kaur has made her choice very clear. It's now for the Congress to decide.
Well, will the Congress decide? Because remember when Amarinder Singh, her husband, had jumped ship and joined the BJP, Preneet Kaur had decided conspicuously to remain with the Congress party for whatever reasons. But has that changed now? Or is this, as Nishikant Dubey suggests, a decision that Preneet Kaur has taken in the national interest? All of these, gestures have enormous implications right before elections in the states and right before elections in the centre next year as well. So we're going to look at that very, very closely. Another BJP MP who was one among the 5 BJP MPs that voted for the resolution recommending the expulsion of Mahua Moitra is Aparajita Sarangi, Lok Sabha MP from Odisha. Here is Aparajita Sarangi in conversation with my colleague Himanshu.
बातचीत करने के लिए अपराजिता सारंगी जो एथिक्स कमेटी की सदस्य है, मैम आज महुआ मोइत्रा मामले का जो है कमेटी ने रिपोर्ट को अडॉप्ट किया, लेकिन विपक्षी दलों का ये कहना है कि पूरी कमेटी की बैठक नहीं खत्म कर दी गई। वो अपना डिसेंट देना चाह रहे थे, वो कहना चाह रहे थे कि हीरा नंदानी को क्यों नहीं बैठक में बुलाया गया, जबकि वो शिकायत में उन्होंने संबोधित भी किया है और वो आरोपी भी।
देखिए, आपने 2 बातें कही, हीरा नंदानी जी को क्यों नहीं बुलाया गया, और दूसरी बात आपने अभी पूछी कि इतनी जल्दी क्यों बंद हो गया, बातचीत क्यों नहीं हुई, सबको सुनने का मौका क्यों नहीं दिया गया। मैं निश्चित तौर पर कहना चाहूँगी कि हीरा नंदानी जी ने एफिडेविट दिया है और वो स्वर्ण एफिडेविट है। जब स्वर्ण एफिडेविट होता है तो उसके बाद क्रॉस एग्जामिनेशन का कोई अर्थ ही नहीं होता। और दूसरी बात मैं कह दूँ कि ये तीसरी सीटिंग थी आज 9 नवंबर, इसके पहले 26 अक्टूबर को हम बैठे थे और उसके बाद हम 2 नवंबर को बैठे थे। और मैं आपको याद दिला दूं कि 2 नवंबर हम सुबह से शाम तक बैठे थे और उसके बाद इन्होंने हंगामा किया था। तो ऐसा है कि श्री देहाद्राई जो कंप्लेनेंट थे, माननीय सांसद निशिकांत दुबे जी जो कंप्लेनेंट थे, उन्हें भरपूर तरीके से और मैं कह दूं बहुत समय दिया गया, उन्हें सुना गया। और उसके बाद महुआ मोइत्रा जी आई और अंग्रेजी में हम कहते हैं अपॉर्चुनिटी ऑफ बीइंग हर्ड, उन्हें भी हम सबने सुना। दिन भर हम उनके साथ बैठे थे, उन्होंने सारी बातें कही अपनी। और उसके बाद जितने भी डॉक्यूमेंट्स आए थे, जितने कागज़ आए थे, आप जानते हैं मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ IT ने कागज़ दिए थे, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ होम अफेयर्स की तरफ से, तो जितने भी कागज़ आए थे और सबको मद्देनजर रखते हुए आज कमेटी ने अपना रिपोर्ट दिया। और मैं आपको बताना चाहूँगी कि डिसेंट नोट आज दिया गया, सबने अपने डिसेंट नोट दिए हैं और डिसेंट नोट को हमारे चेयरमैन साहब ने स्वीकार किया। और जो भी रिपोर्ट हमारा जा रहा है वो डिसेंट नोट के साथ जाएगा और आगामी दिनों का जो कार्य प्रणाली होगी वो हमारे वाचस्पति महोदय तय करेंगे।
अंतिम सवाल है आपसे, कांग्रेस के जो सदस्य थे या अन्य विपक्षी दलों के सदस्य थे, उन्होंने ये भी कहा कि प्रणीत कौर जो उनकी सांसद है, उनका दबाव बनाकर जो है उनसे आपने उनको वोट करने के लिए राजी किया।
देखिए, आप मैडम प्रणीत कौर से ही पूछें, वो बड़ी परिपक्व राजनीतिज्ञ हैं, किसी भी दबाव में वो आने वाली नहीं है। उन्होंने सच का साथ दिया और अगर संवैधानिक
हम उस साइड आ रहे हैं सर, उस साइड आ रहे हैं,
नहीं उतर जाते
हाँ उतर के कर लेते हैं अंदर।
सर की कर लो।
सर आगे की स्ट्रैटेजी क्या होगी, क्या करेंगे अब आप लोग?
अभी पहले उनसे पूछ लीजिए, गिरधारी जी से पूछ लीजिए, गिरधारी से पूछिए, मैं करता हूँ बात।
ठीक है, अंदर ही आ जाओ, अंदर आ जाओ, आइए गिरधारी जी अंदर ही आ जाओ।
Ali, the BSP MP, against whom also there is likely to be some kind of action taken, though it is not yet clear what action will be taken against him, because the focus of the report that's been adopted by the ethics panel is on Mahua Moitra. Now, these images, of course, are not from now, they're from earlier. These are file images. I'm going to ask our producers to put file prominently on them so that, our viewers are not, distracted by what these images are at this point of time. These images are from October the 3rd, when Mahua Moitra was part of a big protest outside the Krishi Bhavan, which is a separate issue altogether. But Mahua Moitra faces possible expulsion at this point of time. But there is a step-by-step procedure before, any potential expulsion actually will happen. The panel report that has been adopted now by the ethics panel will be sent to the Lok Sabha Speaker. Om Birla will then decide on Mahua Moitra's expulsion. The panel report is to be placed before the Lok Sabha. The Lok Sabha will debate the ethics panel report. The centre can move a motion on the Member of Parliament's expulsion. Mahua can challenge the expulsion report that has been recommended in court as well. So all of these steps exist at this point of time, and the possibility of this being taken to court also exists as a remedy for Mahua Moitra. Paulavi, coming back to you for an update on Mahua Moitra herself. She's understood to be in her constituency in West Bengal at this point of time. She's been tweeting, bring it on as far as the CBI and all of the other things are concerned. Any word from her side, the Mahua camp, as to, how this is going to go? We've heard from Abhishek Banerjee earlier. He's facing his own, troubles with the enforcement directorate at this point of time. He has said that Mahua can fight her own battles. A word of support from the Trinamool. Any sense you're getting about how Mahua plans to navigate this, and is the Trinamool fully behind her?
Well, the Trinamool will be sitting down to assess the implications of this. Yes, in a couple of instances, of course, the Trinamool has recently come out, especially after what happened on November 2nd when Mahua Moitra stormed out of the ethics panel meeting and, she alleged that the committee chairman was asking her deeply private questions which were sordid in nature, which were completely unethical. At that point of time, the Trinamool did field one of their feisty netas from Bengal, Shashi Panja, to defend Mahua Moitra, and it was one of those rare occasions. And today, of course, Abhishek Banerjee spoke outside the Enforcement Directorate office in Kolkata as well, saying, of course, Mahua is absolutely capable of fighting her own battles. But why is this happening? This is only happening because there are individuals who are vocal opponents of the government, and they take the government head on. So those are those rare occasions which you can literally count on your fingers when the TMC has come out to speak on this matter. The TMC, I've been speaking to my sources within the party. They categorically stated that they'll wait to see how proceedings move forward as far as the ethics panel probe is concerned. Now, while it's virtually known what the ethics panel has, of course, decided, though, of course, through reports that we've heard and seen parts of, it is a report which will go to the Lok Sabha Speaker. It remains to be seen if the party will now officially react to this, or will they wait for proceedings to take place in Parliament when this report is brought before Parliament. But clearly, we are expecting that by late this evening, Mahua Moitra will react officially as well as far as the proceedings of the committee were concerned today.
Okay, Paulami, thanks very much for that. And Paulami also reporting a very crucial bit of context to the Preneet Kaur, Congress MP, voting in favour of that resolution to expel Mahua Moitra. Preneet Kaur reportedly was suspended by the Congress party in February for anti-party activities. So technically she continues to be a Lok Sabha MP of the Congress party, but she was suspended for anti-party activities. So that gives you some context as to, what the Preneet Kaur factor that is being lauded by the BJP at this point of time really actually means.